I am really excited to be here with Eileen Rivera. She's Senior Production Manager at YouTube Spaces, YouTube Space LA, and of course, one of the inaugural All About Android hosts. And we worked together at Tech TV, and you were at Revision 3, so traveling in lots of the same circles.
Yeah, I think, what goes around comes around. And now I'm here. I'm back. This is crazy with you.
We
never worked together at TWiT.
Yeah, we never worked together at the same time at TWiT. I know. We went out to dinner with Jason Howell last night, and we posted a picture, and someone said, like, oh, you got the band back together. And I thought, well, except for we were never in the same band. Like, I never saw you and Jason Howell in the same room together. No. I thought maybe you were the same person until last night.
My husband also says that, I'm kind of like ship in the night. Like, my wife is real, everybody, and she does work for YouTube.
Your husband? Now, who's your husband again?
I told you, everything comes around. It goes around.
Well, Tom Merritt is the husband of Eileen Rivera.
Yes,
that's
that
the way
is
we
correct.
like to put it.
Yes.
And now you are at YouTube, and you are at YouTube Spaces, and you guys had a big announcement yesterday. I want to get to that, but first, for people who don't really understand how YouTube Spaces work, can you talk a little bit about what it is?
I'd love to. It's what I live and breathe every day. So YouTube Spaces is basically the physical embodiment of YouTube. We're the home. We want to be the home for our creators. It was built for creators. Everything is free. And it's crazy because everybody asks me, like, why is this free? And I said, well, you know what? I work for the company that builds Wi-Fi balloons and self-driving cars. Why not invest in our creators? And YouTube, kind of a behemoth in its own, with its video platform. And we believe in our creators. And this is one way that we're doing that, which is giving them tools, giving them access to things in the production world, or even just, learning how to build your brand and so forth that they may not have access to normally. And we have many spaces around the globe now. When I first started, it was London and LA. I started literally the first week that the space opened in LA, and now we have Tokyo, and now we have New York, and Berlin, and Sao Paulo, and Mumbai, and it's growing every day. It's amazing.
It is amazing. Like, I follow you on Instagram, and I love the places that you travel and go to these wonderful places, and it's like, oh, there are creators there.
There are creators everywhere, and so our motto, our mission is to bring together the most creative people in the world, and we do that by having 3 pillars: learn, connect, and create. I'm create, but learn is our workshop. So we have an EDU lead that production workshops, how to build your brand, how to build your channel, and then we have our connect lead who runs our events. So we'll have screenings, we'll have fan engagement events for our top creators, and many things in between, and she leads that, and then I lead Create, which is our our production, and our all the creators that produce in our 41,000 square foot facility. That's like what I oversee. And LA is the largest, it's the flagship, and I love my job. I love talking to the creators. I love to know what they're doing, and what I want to do is make sure they have what they need in order to make their video production dreams come true.
So what are the requirements? I'm assuming anyone can't just walk off the street and become a creator. So what do I have to have a certain amount of subscribers?
Actually, your grandma can be a creator. Anybody can be a creator with a YouTube channel. So we really do foster that anybody can come and use the space. Now, there's different ways to use the space. So there's you can come to our workshops, and then anybody is invited to most of our events. But to actually produce at the space, you have to have 10,000 subscribers to start with. And that's sort of just our transactional way of sort of managing the thousands of creators that might want to use the space. And then as you grow in subscribers, then you get more days, you get more access, and so forth and so forth. There's a long it's not too long, but you can just go to youtube.com/space and find sort of our, what we're all about.
Right. So 10,000, that seems like it's a reachable goal. Like, it seems like if you put the work in it and you have content that's good, 10,000 doesn't seem like it would be that hard to get to.
Yeah, I don't personally have 10,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel,
yet.
So
after this interview, anything could happen.
I haven't really promoted that, nor do I have content, so you don't need to look at me. You don't need to look for me. But Yeah, I think it's pretty, consistency is key, and authenticity we talk about, is key. So, if you keep at it, I don't think that it's an unattainable goal. I mean, we have a lot of creators that when I first started, were at maybe like 800,000 that are now at like 2 million. They've just grown and skyrocketed along with the platform itself. It's crazy, but it's, and also amazing. That a lot of these creators have audiences that are bigger than some TV shows.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I hate to use the word disrupt because it's kind of a cliche at this point, and
I use it all the time anyway. Why not?
But it's amazing because obviously YouTube is a huge company, and inside another huge company, Google. But then there's this tiny space, this area that you work in that really is, disrupting the model of traditional entertainment. I mean, the bar to entry was so high. I mean, even if you wanted to make an album or make a show or anything like that, it was so you had to do so much. You had to know someone. I think of like Rebecca Black or just like you had to have a huge check from your parents to be able to do something. But what you're saying, what you're describing really isn't that. It's just drive, content, people, and then you do everything else.
Yeah, I mean, I think the beauty of what we do is that it is all free, and that we're trying to find, and that's kind of why I'm here at NAB, is like looking at the new tools that we have here that our creators will potentially use, moving forward. How do they tell their story with a lot of these new tools, whether it be VR, or whether it be, drones. I hate to say it. Some people are very anti-drones. HDR, there's lots of different tools here. That's kind of why I'm kind of, walking around NAB. Kind of lost my train of thought, but
the model,
essentially what we want to do is, offer our creators a chance to try something new. Maybe they're used to shooting videos at their home in their bedroom, but have they thought about using a green screen? Have they thought about using a red camera? Do they want to learn? Like, come to the space and you can learn those, and handle some of those new tools that they may never have access to.
Right. So, can you talk a little bit about the announcement that YouTube made yesterday?
I think I don't know that I can do as great of a job as some of our product folks and our live folks, but we basically announced live 360 streaming on the platform, and I'm really excited because I'm flying home tonight. Tomorrow at YouTube Space LA, we are going to have our first live 360 streaming show with an artist named Dawn. The Verge is producing it, and they'll be there in-house. It'll be on their channel, streaming live. So it's the first time we're doing anything like that. We like to be a place of firsts, right? Mm-hmm. So this is one of them. This is really new territory for us, and it's exciting to try it out for the first time.
Yeah. Will there be an audience too there?
Yeah. We're gonna let in the first 100 people who I think they RSVP. I'm not quite sure how they're managing the audience, but there should be an audience inside. So
for like free, if you were first RSVP, you get to come. That's cool.
Yeah.
So have you seen any technology here, cameras or anything that you think creators would be useful for creators?
Well, there's lots of things here. I mean, I think, the big buzz right now seems to be VR, and, how to use it, how to story-tell, which is different. It's one thing with music, right? It's a concert, you just kind of listen. Maybe there's a story within a song or something. But, scripted is interesting. So in terms of gear, I really encourage the creators to kind of check out all the different kinds of VR cameras that's out there. Because I think it's sort of the next generation of storytelling, and we'll see how it goes. All of it's new to me, I don't want to say that I'm an expert at all. We're going to be learning. We're going to be having courses on 360 and VR at YouTube Spaces as well. So I'm going to be learning and growing, going on the journey with all our creators.
Yeah. From what I've learned, it's very important for people in the business to separate 360 from VR.
Oh, that's true.
I think that, which you've been doing. But yeah, I mean, because I guess VR is not a real world.
There's augmented reality, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what one genre I think is going to be really cool that I sort of saw recently in a short clip is horror. Horror in VR. First of all, please tell me if I'm going to walk into a horror situation, because I will probably scream and fall on the floor if that happens. Somebody scares me or whatever. But I think that actually is a genre that could do very well.
Yeah. So do you have a lot of people producing horror content in YouTube Space?
For the last several years, we've had what is called our tentpole programming, and we've sort of always had like a Halloween set and scary, or at least we've been sort of encouraging that sort of scary content. But you could do a musical with horror or whatever. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we have quite a bit of creators that have produced horror content, over the last years. Zombies, big deal, zombies.
Yeah, true. So what about brands? Can they come in and say, oh yeah, like could Coke come in and say, like, I want to go to YouTube Spaces and I have 1 billion subscribers? Would they also be allowed in there for free?
I mean, brands are also YouTube creators. They have a channel. Anybody with a channel is essentially a creator. When most people think about YouTube creators, you think about our endemic creators, those that are sort of born not necessarily attached to a brand or a media company. But yes, brands can come to the space. We have a specific brand partner program for them, which is separate from the YouTube Spaces, but as a program itself. But they often come to the space and learn about YouTube, and then could have access to shoot at the space afterwards.
So when creators come in, do you, at this point, having done it for as long as you have, do you have an idea when people come in who is going to be successful and who isn't, or is it just a surprise every time?
It's like guessing who's going to be a viral hit. It's really, you see special, I don't want to say special creators. You see people with a lot of potential. You see ideas kind of born, but it's, you never know. Like, that person may decide they may want to go into marketing or something. You never know where their journey's going to take them. But certainly, like, I think you can see those that have really good work ethic and just really it's those that can galvanize their audience a lot of the times, and who can speak to their audience clearly and authentically, that that is going to be successful for a creator, at least that I've seen. But can I really recognize it off the bat? Not always. Sometimes they come back, I'm like, wow, that maybe they used the space a year ago, and then they come back and they're like, grew 3 times, and like, what did you do in between? That's amazing, and we hope that we're part of that journey somehow. We're, giving them access, gave them sort of an idea to create something that maybe they're taking off, elsewhere, and then they come back.
Yeah.
I mean, elsewhere and only on YouTube, but, like wherever they need to go to travel to, create their content. So, but yeah, I don't know that there's an exact science, I think that the, creators just have to believe in what, just like anybody, like any podcaster, just any kind of content creator, like you got to believe in your content, and that should, make you rise to the top, hopefully, and be consistent.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Eileen. It's so great to see you, and I love that you're doing this. This is, because you've just traveled both of us have traveled in this world of creating content that is always difficult for people to understand in the beginning, like, what exactly is it that you do? But you find an audience, and so it's interesting that you're doing this now, because it just really shows how there's so many audiences out there, and if, like you said, have a real passion for your work and you're authentic, then you'll find your people.
That's right. Find your people. You can find them. They're there. They're waiting for you.
Thank you so much. Eileen Rivera is the Senior Production Manager at YouTube Spaces LA. If you are authentic and you have content that you want to create and you have 10,000 subscribers, go there. And if you don't, then you can learn how to get 10,000 subscribers there too.